Sir Isaac Newton is widely considered one of the most brilliant humans to ever live. Yet, in the spring of 1720, the man who codified the laws of gravity dumped his shares in the South Sea Company, got swept up in a wild market frenzy, bought back in at a higher price, and lost the modern equivalent of $3 million. In 1998, a modern equivalent occurred with long-term capital management. This hedge fund, guided by a battalion of mathematicians and two Nobel Prize-winning economists, lost over $2 billion in a matter of weeks, nearly capsizing the global financial system. Then there is Enron. Their leadership, notably CEO Jeffrey Skilling, built a corporate culture that practically worshipped raw intellectual talent. But rather than using that brainpower to build a sustainable business, these top-tier minds orchestrated massive accounting fraud to hide their failing strategies. We naturally assume that a high IQ and an elite education guarantee rational, calculated choices. The historical record proves the exact opposite. Raw brainpower does not equal good judgment. Instead, it exposes a hidden biological flaw where higher intelligence actually makes an individual far more dangerous to themselves. To understand why smart people make terrible decisions, we have to look at how human brains evolved. Our minds were built primarily for immediate survival, inherently prioritizing rapid reactions over objective truth. Psychologists divide human thought into two streams. System 1 is fast and unconscious. System 2 is slow and deliberate. When facing complex problems, System 1 relies on what you see is all there is, subconsciously substituting a complex question for a rapid mental shortcut. Highly intelligent people are particularly vulnerable here. They use their advanced processing power to construct a falsely confident, coherent story out of partial information, remaining completely blind to the vital facts they do not possess. To keep exploring the complexities of human psychology, take a moment to subscribe to the Mind Expedition. The sheer processing power of a genius mind is ultimately tethered to a primitive engine that values speed over accuracy. A high IQ remains largely useless for maintaining objectivity when the brain runs on autopilot. We operate like elite lawyers crafting justifications for predetermined verdicts, despite believing we are objective scientists. This circular pattern is motivated reasoning. High intelligence makes a person far more skilled at manipulating logic to defend their pre-existing biases. Many highly intelligent individuals also fall into the fixed mindset trap. Growing up constantly praised as natural geniuses, they believe their abilities are carved in stone. Any failure transforms into an intolerable threat to their core identity. This desperate need for ego protection triggers the sunk cost fallacy. Rather than admitting his futuristic car company was failing, the brilliant John DeLorean caused organizational chaos and threw millions away to avoid admitting defeat. This is also known as the Concorde effect. The British and French governments burned over $1 billion on a doomed supersonic jet, because abandoning the project felt like a personal surrender. For the brilliant mind, intelligence ceases to be a tool for discovering truth, acting instead as a defensive weapon deployed to protect a fragile ego from the pain of being wrong. This leads to the illusion of control. Smart individuals drastically overestimate their ability to forecast the future, while completely neglecting the massive role of luck. They often fall into resulting, judging the quality of a decision based exclusively on its outcome. This allows them to take credit for their successes while blaming failure on bad luck. Because they refuse to admit fault, these brilliant minds actively prevent themselves from learning, which almost guarantees a future collapse. superior judgment relies on intentionally creating distance from your instincts, which raw brain power alone cannot provide. This deliberate distance cuts out your subconscious biological reaction. It overrides the fast, automatic system, forcing your mind to reason rather than simply react. True rationality requires the quiet humility to acknowledge personal blind spots and build the intentional safeguards required to slow down the mind when it matters most.